As a pastor, I would encourage people to read the Hunger Report because it is highly informative and it really lays out the landscape of what's going on in the United States when it comes to hunger and poverty. It is an excellent resource for us to have in our libraries, to read, to pick up, and to inform our congregations about what's going on when it comes to public policy. Interesting enough, there's a story in the Hunger Report that talks about a project that's going on in the South Bronx where green jobs are being offered to people who are coming out of prison. And these jobs are giving these young men an opportunity to escape from poverty and elevate themselves from a condition that they've been held in for quite a long time. Someone once said this: poverty breeds crime. That's an old adage. It's nothing new. But the reality is, we seem not to figure it out as a people that if we reduce poverty, we will reduce crime. I believe many of the young people, young men who are engaged in such activities aren't interested in being engaged in those activities. They're interested in doing what it takes to feed their family. But we have to provide the necessary supports to make that happen. Education, good jobs, those things will help move people to a place of stability. If we're going to help create jobs, why not make them green jobs? The reality is this: green jobs do some wonderful things, and multiple things at that. The first thing is green jobs will employ people who really need jobs. We all know we're in a recession right now, and it's important to support this particular industry. The second thing is green jobs will also make the environment cleaner. It goes without saying what will take place. With solar panels, green roofs, and the like, it would just make our air fresher. And the last thing is it will build our infrastructure, which is critically needed. There are a couple articles that you really need to look at in the Hunger Report, but one I really want to mention has to deal with health care. The reality is, in poor neighborhoods, the healthcare system is oftentimes, for lack of a better term, terrible. I had a chance to travel through Hunts Point, I would say a few weeks back, and when I went there, the air quality is terrible. Trucks are constantly spewing out smoke, dirt, dust, fumes into the air. It's just a terrible experience for those who are living in the area. And we're talking about 60,000 trucks traveling through that area each week. Can you imagine how bad the air quality is for those residents living there? I guess that's why in Hunts Point, more children and adults are hospitalized each year because of asthma attacks than anywhere else in the city. It is impossible to have healthy, productive workers in the community without quality hospitals. The reality is, in areas like the South Bronx and poor urban areas, so many people suffer because of poor health care. This really, really needs to change. And we're not just talking about health care in terms of what services are provided, but we're talking about health care in terms of the quality of treatment these patients have to endure. The good thing about the Hunger Report is it just doesn't address the problems, but it gives us real solutions as to how we can deal with some of the problems we face daily in our own communities. The reality is, what is the point, really, to have a job, work 9 to 5, and then go home and not be able to pay the rent, or not be able to give your children the shoes or the clothes that they need?